and services, and therefore are interested in maintaining existing and forging new links with Jamaican businesses in the diaspora. This launch event here at the Eaton Chelsea Hotel is our personal invitation to Jamaicans in Canada to join us in Kingston for what we anticipate will be a dynamic and exciting conference in 2017. And it is our hope that it will move our society to another level to maintain ongoing and establish new initiatives, as well as further strengthen the links between our country and its nationals in the diaspora. I thank you all for being here this evening, and we look forward to welcoming you to Kingston in July.
Thank you very much, Gerald. And for those of you who want to tweet, who want to Trump, this room is so slow. Come on, stay with me. Hashtag Canada launch, hashtag Jamaican Diaspora Conference, hashtag Jamaica 55. Thank you very much, Yvette. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so the Jamaican Canadian Association was started in this city when Jamaica gained independence. I wasn't around, I've only heard about it. Why would you laughing, sir? Minister, can you know what I mean? And Judge Appelt, why you have that smile on your face like, Pastor, are you praying for me over there too? I am telling you, but JCA has been an organization that has been a foundation for the development of our community. Since then, many have, or other organizations have sprung up in this city of Toronto and across the country. The alumni associations are here. I know Helping Hands Jamaica, Summer Food is here, who through Food for the Poor, we're building schools in Jamaica and all of that. And St. Thomas Vital Healthcare Organization, but Jamaican Canadian Association remains at the core. The Jamaican Canadian Association was the first ethnic organization in this country to actually purchase their own property without any assistance. Oh, no, no, that? We still have a mortgage to burn. This is not a JCA pitch, but we want to burn the mortgage. So continue your support of that organization, and the president of the Jamaican Canadian Association, Ms. Adoma Patterson, will join us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? What a wonderful reason to gather downtown Toronto. All protocols observed. Good evening to our head table guests. Denise is so right. I was not around either when JCA was formed, but I am so thrilled to be the 17th president of the Jamaican Canadian Association, a daughter for sure of the diaspora, born in Winnipeg, lived in Kingston for a short time. So I do represent those who really want to stay connected to what will always be in our hearts, home, and to be able to contribute. And so I am pleased this evening to be able to bring, on behalf of the JCA, to officially endorse the 2017 Jamaica Diaspora Conference, Partnering for Growth. As Denise said, JCA was and continues to focus on ensuring Jamaicans in the GTA have political, social, and economic impact and power. We believe a strong presence in the GTA and Canada has positive impacts on Jamaica. JCA is part of the Jamaica brand. We get calls people associate anything Jamaica with the JCA. And so we take that seriously. The JCA looks forward to participating in this year's conference, and more importantly, we look forward to playing a role in advancing the recommendations and the initiatives that come out of this year's conference. Many of our members have homes in Jamaica, they spend half the year in Jamaica, and so we are connected in many ways. And so we're thrilled, in particular this year, to be able to play a role and to officially endorse the conference. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you, Adoma. So, you know, in the way we are as Jamaicans, our colleague Philip Maskell coined a word, Jamaicanly, which is an apt description of how we behave, how we act, how we tend to believe that we own wherever we are. And of course, our Jamaicanliness in the GTA, even though we are, I don't know, is it 60% of the 350,000 Jamaicans who live in this country legally? Okay, the High Commissioner is correcting me. Known, she says, known. But you know, all of you know, well, figures in that number at least double. But we're not going to go there this evening. But those of us in the GTA, we think we're in the majority. But I am delighted that we have in the NatCap, in the National Capital, our High Commission, who reminds us Torontonians from time to time. You say, I know, one day, I know. This is a nation where Jamaicans live. And I believe we live in every province in this country. And we continue, clap. And territories, thank you very much, teacher. Province and territory, she reminds me that we have to say. So the High Commissioner is in Ottawa and keeps the rest of the nation in tune with whatever is happening in Jamaica at home and across the country. And so it is my pleasure to invite Her Excellency Mrs. Janice Miller, High Commissioner for Jamaica to Canada, to come to the podium.
Thank you very much, Denise. Senator the Honourable Kamina Johnson-Smith, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Mr. Lloyd Wilkes, Consul General, Mr. Granville Anderson, Member of the Provincial Parliament, Dr. Alvin Curling, Mr. Gerald Johnson of Jamaica National, representing the Legacy Partners, and the other representatives of Legacy Partners here this evening, Judge Pamela Applett, Chair of Jamaica 55 Canada Steering Committee, Mrs. Valerie Steele of the Diaspora Advisory Board and other members of that board, and representatives from the many Jamaican associations here in Toronto, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to add my welcome to the launch in Canada of the Jamaica 55 Diaspora Conference, scheduled to be held in Kingston at the Jamaica Conference Centre from 23rd to 26th July 2017. It is a particular pleasure to welcome you back, Minister, here to Canada, as well as fellow colleagues from the Ministry, represented by Ambassador Sharon Saunders, Under-Secretary, Diaspora Protocol and Consular Division, and Mr. Lincoln Downer, Acting Director, Diaspora Affairs Department. I thank Consul General Wilkes and his team from the Consulate for the arrangements made for this evening's event, and I also wish to recognise the support and input received from members of the Jamaican community here in Toronto, across Canada, as well as the Steering Committee. The 2017 Diaspora Conference will return to its home at the Jamaica Conference Centre, where the very first conference was inaugurated in 2004, and I know some of you were at that very first conference. The biennial Diaspora Conference has grown in scope and outreach while keeping as central the focus on strengthening the relationship between Jamaica and its diaspora. It is anticipated that this year's conference will add to the motivation of Jamaicans abroad for continued involvement in the development of Jamaica, whether at the local, community, parish, or wider national level, and in so doing, expand opportunities for attainment of Vision 2030 Jamaica, National Development Plan for Jamaica, to be the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. The Jamaica 55 Diaspora Conference has been strategically timed to coincide with the planning of the celebratory events to mark our 55th anniversary of independence. Indeed, the two themes are very similar, celebrating Jamaicans at home and abroad for the Jamaica 55 celebration, which synchronizes well with the theme for the conference, Partnering for Growth. Jamaicans in Canada actively participate in the growth and development of Jamaica through actions which support, among others, healthcare, educational development, community building, security, culture, and investment in new areas of opportunity, including housing solutions and retirement options. Ties between Jamaica and Canada have been greatly enhanced through the Jamaican diaspora here in Canada and have contributed to increased people-to-people contacts, tourism, the expansion of diaspora trade and investment, and synergies in a variety of areas, including music, culture, and food. Excitement is building towards the Jamaica 55 Diaspora Conference, which will be uplifting, energetic, and rich in discussion and debate. I hope many of you are attending the Jamaica 55 Diaspora Conference or will leave here this evening determined to attend. Ladies and gentlemen, I now have the honor and privilege of introducing Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade of Jamaica. Minister Johnson-Smith was appointed as Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade in March 2016 and is the very first woman to hold this office. As Jamaica's chief diplomat, the Minister has combined her extensive experience as an attorney at law with her work in the government and previously with the private sector, as she works assiduously, and dare I say, Minister, almost without a break, yes, to promote and protect Jamaica's interests across the world. In addition to her work in foreign affairs, foreign trade, and diaspora affairs, Minister Johnson-Smith is the leader of government business in the Senate of the Jamaican Parliament. She also has a keen interest in education, youth and gender affairs, public sector governance, reintegration of teen mothers in the formal school system, and the review of laws related to violence against women, children, the elderly, and persons living with disabilities. The Minister is a graduate of the University of the West Indies and the London School of Economics and Political Science, and has also completed studies at universities in Guadeloupe and in the United States, including the Harvard Law School. Minister Johnson-Smith believes passionately that Jamaica's best days still lie ahead and is convinced these can be achieved once all Jamaicans, both at home and abroad, work together towards a common goal bolstered by concrete and pragmatic action. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite you to join me in welcoming to the podium our keynote speaker for this evening, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade of Jamaica, Senator the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith.